Welcome to CJ and DJ's Movie Reviews, your guide to movie reviews and what beer best pairs with them. Now, here are your hosts, CJ and DJ.
Welcome to CJ and DJ's Movie Reviews, your guide to movie reviews and what beer pairs best with them. I am your host, CJ, and we got the co-host with the mo-host, DJ.
What's up, everybody?
How are you doing today, DJ?
I'm not doing too bad.
Not doing too bad. Well, we just saw Dunkirk, and we're going to be reviewing it for you guys this episode.
Yeah, we sure are, and yikes.
It's a heavy one.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy.
That's as much as we're going to say until we get into the review. So anyways, guys, we're going to be reviewing Dunkirk, and at the very end, we're going to be pairing it with a beer, and of course, no spoilers. All right, now time for the plot summary. So this movie is in the setting of World War II, right? And it follows the men and the people involved in the Battle of Dunkirk, France. Right? As the title suggests.
Yeah.
400,000 men were stranded on the beaches of Dunkirk trying to just survive and be able to make it back home to England. And that's pretty much all this movie's about.
That's the gist of it. Now, you can't really do an epic plot summary with that one. Yeah,
it's got a tight runtime of around 95 minutes, I think it was. It's an hour and a half, something like that. So, yeah, this is pretty much all that happens in that movie. Let's get into the review here, Deej. I'm going to go ahead and pass it off to you here first.
Well, Siege, this movie was intense.
Yes.
And I was wowed, anxious. I was really impressed with how well it's made. I mean, obviously, it's a Nolan movie. So you know what you're going to get. But,
I think that can't be understated, really, is how well this movie was shot. It was shot amazingly well.
Yeah, and it is an epic as usual. But you know what? I left the movie a little underwhelmed.
Yeah, I can get down with that. Again, there's a reason why Christopher Nolan is a master in the craft of just the technicalness of this movie. It's very well shot, and the scenes are breathtaking. You know, he uses all real props.
Oh, yeah.
So it's not like a bunch of CGI or anything like that. Real locations. So everything about that was great.
I walked in expecting, because as the trailer was suggesting, you're going to follow a few different characters and a few different perspectives throughout this rescue. Right. And to a point, you know what? We did get it. I just didn't really get enough from each of the main focus of the story. They weren't quite as fleshed out for me to really care all that much about what happens to them.
Talking about the characters here, as you guys may have seen in our other reviews and everything, we're pretty big character lovers of movies. Like, that's our favorite part, is the emotional connection that you have with the characters.
Right.
Well, this movie, the emotional character is just the setting. It's not any of the actors.
Right.
The emotional context just comes from what's happening. You know, this is World War II. It's dire situations, but it's not like the actors really gave me that feel to it. They did their job, but
they did their jobs,
and that leads to me saying that there's not any real surprise standout for this.
There wasn't. I mean, I do have one standout. Surprisingly, it was Mr. Harry Styles, One Direction himself. He was one of the characters where he did have some character depth, or at least there was some focus in it. It was a lot more fleshed out for him. Right. And I'm not saying I liked him a lot.
When you say a lot more fleshed out, you're talking about from at least you get a glimmer of his personality rather than just a stoic person. Right. Which the main guy, Tommy, I can't remember the actor's name.
I don't even think they said it in the movie.
Yeah.
So that's not that much of a spoiler. I mean, it is a plot driven versus a character driven film. And but Harry Styles was one of the only ones that I was actually interested in what was going to happen with him next.
Right.
And
the family on the boat.
The family boat, yeah, they were another one also.
They were pushing the movie along, I felt like. All the emotion just comes from the rawness of war. So I'll say this about this movie. It did its job in making you feel uncomfortable.
It sure did. I
felt so uncomfortable throughout the entire movie, and I barely got a release at the end. You know, that. You know, it's like a pressure cooker. You know, you got all this stress and this tension and everything, and you just feel it in your body, but it just doesn't go anywhere. Like, that's where it is. It just stays with you.
Yeah.
So I guess in the respect of what the movie was trying to do, it did that well. It just didn't make it fully satisfying when you got to the end of the movie.
Yeah, you put it brilliantly. A pressure cooker. I mean, that's the least adult way of saying this. I didn't get that climax that I really wanted, and that isn't that big of a deal when it comes to critic ratings.
And I like feeling this pressure and this tension and everything like that. That tells you that the movie's doing its job as far as conveying to you what the situation is. But
you want a payoff.
There needs to be a payoff.
Big time
exactly.
payoff, yeah.
And then how the story progressed and how it was written didn't feel necessary as well.
Yeah, some parts were a little hard to follow.
And we're not going to tell you guys specifically what happens because it would end up being a spoiler. But yeah, you will know what we're talking about once you go see it with the story.
Plain and simple. I mean, the movie was great. I mean, it was put together very well, very, very powerful for the story that it was written about. It's an incredible story. And Hans motherfucking Zimmer hits it out of the park again. That was another big character in the movie. It was plot and music. They went together so well. But at the same time, I don't really see myself wanting to rush to go see it again. Yeah,
this is a good movie, but I don't think it's a great movie. I don't think it's a spectacular movie. It's a spectacle to look at, but looking at a movie, and we've said this a lot, and I feel like I've said it a lot in a lot of our different reviews, a spectacle of a movie doesn't make it a great movie. With all that being said, Deej, what is our conclusion to this movie?
I mean, just to tie it up again, it was great, but I didn't have the best time while I was watching it. I'm not, it's no disrespect to the story behind it, but it's not my favorite. And even though it wouldn't improve my movie watching experience, I'm going to have to give this movie a half-drunk rating.
Nice. Yeah. I gave it the same rating. It's a spectacle of viewing pleasure, breathtaking scenes.
Yeah.
And the movie achieved in its feeling of uncomfortableness, which is what it was going for. But there's a lack of story to me. There's a lack of character, development.
Yeah.
And there's no real satisfaction with how the story ended up at the very end to give me anything better than a half drunk.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I mean, it's again, great movie, but not something we're going to
exactly.
So again, let us know what you guys thought.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Let us know what you think.
I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people grilling us, not going to lie. But that's our honest opinions.
We hate it now because we didn't love it.
Absolutely.
Right? Deej, we got this beer in front of us. I'll go ahead and tell them what it's all about. We paired this movie with a strong, hoppy Imperial IPA.
Yeah, the flavor really sticks to you.
Yeah, it sticks. It's high in alcohol percentage for how uncomfortable this movie makes you feel, and it's ridiculously hopping, and it pairs nice with how raw the war was being depicted in the movie.
Yeah. All right, man.
There we go. Let's
cheers.
Go ahead and cheers to that.
Bloody hell. That's not easy to chug.
No, that's what an Imperial IPA will do to you. Alright guys, so let us know what you guys think down in the comments. If you guys want to see more videos like this, well, like, comment, subscribe, share, do all of that good stuff.
Yeah, and if you haven't checked out before, we did a movie power hour based on this movie.
Correct.
And that was a lot of fun too. Let us know what you guys want to have us review next, and
Yeah, so you guys can check us out on Facebook, Instagram at Movie Brewhouse Productions. You can catch us out on Twitter at Movie Brewhouse. We like to tweet random things every now and then. And until next time, guys, crack open a cold one and watch a movie. Hey everyone, did you like that video? Well, click here to watch more.
Or if you want to check out some other great content, click right here.
And lastly, if you want to stay up to date on everything Movie Brewhouse Productions, subscribe right here.
Bet you can't decide before we finish this beer.